Hi everyone, my name is Megan and I'm an educator here at the Stone Zoo, and I am so excited to be celebrating our North American porcupine Fezzik's 7th birthday today and talking a little bit about how these guys defend themselves and what their role is in our ecosystem. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I can answer them at the end. So as you can see, Fezzik here is kind of showing off his really sharp, long claws. And that is an adaptation that they have that is actually because they spend most of their time in the trees. So they have these super long, super curved claws. You can kind of see them on Tarth right there. That's our female. And that is actually one of the ways that they defend themselves. So they can kind of go at predators with those claws. And another way that a lot of people think of when thinking of porcupines is their quills. So some people think that they can shoot their quills, and that is actually a common myth. They detach really, really easily, and they have these fish hook-like barbs at the end that can hook into skin, and the way that they detach easily and hook in kind of gives the impression that they are throwing them, even though they actually can't. And their last main defense is those really big, ever-growing teeth. That is common for all rodents. They sort of work like a pair of scissors, sort of snipping up all of the plant food they eat, because they are herbivorous. And that is sort of the last way that they can use to defend themselves, although the quills are much more common. And that sort of leads into their role, is those long teeth. So they engage in this behavior called nip twigging, which is where they bite off little ends of branches, and that's what they eat during the winter. And that sort of lets sunlight in so new plants can grow. It lets more space for different types of birds to come in and just sort of opens up the canopy a little bit, making it more hospitable to different species. Another huge role that they play is cavity creation. So during the winter, they will peel off the bark of the trees and eat that nice pulp that's right underneath, called cambium. And that sort of opens up a way into the trees and creates new nesting space for different animals like birds, such as woodpeckers or wood ducks, or squirrels, and sort of creates new habitat for them, allowing them to move into new areas. And lastly, they are really important prey, even though they have a lot of quills and look like they'd be kind of hard to catch. They're prey for a lot of iconic North American forest predators like cougars, bobcats, coyotes, fishers, wolverines, and they're a really, really important source of food for them. So one thing that you can do to help these guys, even though they are not endangered, they are actually doing okay right now, but they are still in trouble when trying to cross roads. Because they spend most of their time in trees, they're not really built for walking on flat ground, and sometimes they'll try to use roads to cross and get to a new patch of forest. And by looking a little more carefully when you're driving and making sure there's no animals on the road, you can avoid hitting these guys and lots of other species that are endangered, such as box turtles, Blanding's turtles, lots of different frogs and salamanders all cross roads. And so by looking a little more carefully, you can protect these guys and lots of other endangered species. Any questions?
We do have some questions, and if any viewers that are watching live right now have questions as well, please feel free to type them in the comment section. Can you remind us what the porcupine's names and ages are?
Yes. So the one that is currently scaling the wall is Fezzik, and he is turning 7 today. And then the one that is over here munching on some apple is Tarth, and she is almost 4 years old.
And where did they come from?
These two were born in zoos, so they could not survive in the wild. They are used to captivity, used to people, and I believe that Tarth was born in this zoo, and Fezzik came from another one?
Yes, Fezzik is from the Bronx Zoo, and Tarth was born at the Elmwood Park Zoo. And we did have a question come in from Sydney, who is wondering, how long is their lifespan, and do they live long in the wild?
So in the wild, they live around 5 to 7 years, whereas in captivity, they can live up to 18.
And Lori was wondering the same thing. So how long do they live both in the wild and in captivity? Something that you might see as you're viewing at home is just some food that they're munching on. So Megan, could you tell us what some of their other favorite forms of enrichment might be?
Yes. So one really cool form of enrichment that they love is they will get the shed antlers of deer. So in the wild, they would chew on those to sort of wear down those continuously growing teeth. And they would also get a little bit of calcium from that. Some other forms of enrichment that they love are different types of food, so they can get all different sorts of fruits and vegetables, just like this sweet potato that Tarth is enjoying right now. And they will also get novel scents, so different things for them to smell, and that's really good to get their brains going and introduce them to new things.
And lastly, I'm wondering, what is your favorite thing about the North American porcupines?
I love the noises that they make. A lot of people don't realize that they make a lot of sounds like grunting and squeaking, and that is one of my favorite things about them. Thank you for joining us and celebrating Fezzik's birthday. Have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you soon.